Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the most industrial stream you'll see on a Tuesday night. I hope so anyway. There might be others out there, but hey, I'm glad you're here. And on this stream, we look at the skilled trades, how to get into them, what to expect. We'll look at some articles about shortages in the trades area and see what's being done. We'll check out some news too. We'll see which companies are doing well and which ones aren't doing very well. And then we'll look at some pictures and videos of some of the projects I've been involved in. But before to get all that, I would like to say hello to you, David Glenn. Nice to see you there. I watched that video of that shredder there that you showed me making those wood chips, and man, that was all right. I like that. That thing probably just ate those trees like crazy. And to you, Godzillionaire, how you doing? Everyone's favorite kaiju. Godzillionaire, you never met a welder like her, the one I have in my my startup screen there? Yeah, I mean, when you can find them, I mean, get to know them. They're very easy on the eyes to have around. Well then, let's get right into it here. Courtesy of Plant Magazine. I saw my first article here. Losses in China lead to $5 billion charge for General Motors as it cuts values of its assets. Oh, that's right, David. Flashdance. There you go. Let's see what happens to GM here. The poor performance of General Motors' Chinese joint ventures is forcing the company to write down assets and take a restructuring charge totaling more than $5 billion in the fourth quarter of this year. The Detroit automaker said in a regulatory filing Wednesday that it will cut the value of its equity stake in the ventures by $2.6 billion to $2.9 billion when it reports its results early next year. In addition, GM will take $2.7 billion worth of restructuring charges, most of it during the fourth quarter. I mean, this is what you get for working with China? Like, maybe they should reconsider. The non-cash charges will reduce the company's net income, but they will not affect adjusted pre-tax earnings, GM said in the filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. GM for years has owned 50% of its joint venture with the SAIC General Motors Corp. And has other joint ventures, including a finance arm. The ventures used to be a reliable source of equity income for the company, but have swung to losses in the past year. People shouldn't be surprised. I don't think things are going very well in China. The ventures lost $347 million from January through September, compared with a profit of $353 million in the same period in 2023. Still, GM expects to post a full-year net profit of $10.4 billion to $11.1 billion. China has become an increasingly difficult market for foreign automakers, with BYD and other domestic companies raising their quality and reducing costs. Yeah, I find that hard to believe. It's still Chinese quality. I mean, you see those videos over there about the stuff they try to pull off? Just garbage. Hey, it's the Comic Relief Crusader! What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, hey, not a problem. Glad to... I sent Comic Relief a little package there. A little Christmas present. Helping out a fellow Albertan, you know. Where would we leave off here? You're just stopping by before dinner. Oh, there you go. Enjoy. Have yourself a great dinner. And I appreciate you stopping by. It's always nice to see everybody. The country also has subsidized domestic automakers. The main joint venture with SAIC called SGM is finishing restructuring actions that GM expects will address market challenges and competitive conditions, GM said in a filing. On GM's third quarter earnings conference call, Chief Financial Officer Paul Jacobson said restructuring in China has not yet started, but sales were up and inventory was down. CEO Mary Barra said China is a difficult environment because some domestic brands don't seem to prioritize profitability. They're definitely prioritizing production. He said GM can make money there in a different way, focusing on a new pickup truck and importing premium vehicles. Shares of General Motors slid 3% before opening bell Wednesday. So this is the thing. You get what you deserve. You're going to mess around with China. You're going to deal with that commie government. And you're going to lose every time. They don't care. They're domestic brands. They're going to always tout them as being way better. And they're probably going to steal your ideas while they're at it. So that's what's going to happen there. So you know what, GM? You get what you deserve. You're going to do all your business there. Or not all your business. You're going to do some of your business there. You're going to have losses. And that's going to happen. So don't cry about it. Canada's manufacturing sector sees strongest growth since February 2023. Okay. Oh, here we go. Tariffs on Chinese EVs, aluminum and wheel and steel to raise federal revenues by $473 million. That's not very much at all. The Parliamentary Budget Officer estimates Canada's tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, aluminum, and steel will increase federal revenues by $473 million over 5 years. That's terrible. Over 5 years, it's going to increase. That's awful. It's not a lot of money at all. In October, the federal government began imposing a 100% tariff on Chinese-made EVs, as well as a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports. The Liberal government has cited unfair trading practices and abysmal environmental and labor standards that allow China to unfairly price and dump products into the market at a huge cost to the environment and workers. Yeah, but they don't complain about the cheap price it comes over, eh? You don't ever hear that. It's always, oh, unfair trading practices, and oh, the environment, oh, and the workers. But then nobody will go after them for the environment either. They're all too chicken. Canada was under immense pressure to match the U.S. tariffs pushed by industry groups, including automakers and steel and aluminum plants. The PBO estimates the tariffs will result in a 50% reduction in aluminum and steel imports from China. I mean, that's okay. EV imports from China skyrocketed in 2023 because Tesla started shipping Canadian orders from its plant in Shanghai. But the PBO says Tesla will likely now sell vehicles to Canada that were produced outside of China. Oops. I mean, okay. That's, well, that was a short article, wasn't it? It just goes to show that the Canadian government needs to man up, be tougher, and not kowtow to China. This is an interesting one. I haven't heard of Ballard in a while. They were really big in the 90s, making their fuel cells, their hydrogen cells, and then they just disappeared off the face of the earth. Just not a word out of them. But this sounds promising. Ballard Power Systems has signed a long-term supply agreement with Canadian Pacific Kansas City. That's a railroad. Get rid of Trudeau first. Yes, please. David, I agree 100%. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of seeing his ugly face and hearing his stupid voice. Can he just go away now? Just go away and take your stupid ideas with you. Stop kicking the people when they're down. If inflation goes up, don't put a carbon tax on people. You're kicking them. You're literally just getting a boot and kicking them as hard as you can when they're down already. It's disgusting. And he's not even a human. He's not even a human being. He's that disgusting to me. Yes, they signed the agreement with Kansas City, and including the initial supply of 98 cell engines for use in North America's freight rail market. Each engine reportedly has a nameplate of 200 kilowatts, totaling approximately 20 megawatts of fuel cell power. Deliveries of all 98 engines are expected in 2025. Canadian Pacific, Kansas City. I'll take 3 random places for 800, Alex. Yeah, it's weird. I guess either Canadian Pacific bought the Kansas City, or Kansas City bought Canadian Pacific. I'm not sure, but it just used to be CP Rail, but now it's CPKC. The long-term service agreement builds on an existing partnership between Ballard and CPKC, which started in 2021 and has included the delivery of approximately 10 megawatts of fuel cell engines to date and the integration of Ballard fuel cell engines into hydrogen-powered locomotives for regular switching and freight service applications in Alberta. The fuel cell engines purchased from Ballard will support the expansion of CPKC's hydrogen locomotive program. Well, there you go. At least nice to see that they're doing something. And Ballard, like I say, I haven't heard of those guys for the longest time. And it was they were supposed to be the future. And then all of a sudden, they must have got sidetracked or something. CP has a bad connotation these days with all the PDF. Ah, yes. I understood, Godzillionaire. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get you. And then they could just say Canadian Pacific, too. We are thrilled with the opportunity to further develop our strategic relationship with CPKC to decarbonize not only their locomotive fleet, but also participate in the electrification of freight rail across North America, said Randy McEwen, President and CEO of Ballard Power. This order represents a step forward in CPKC's decarbonization vision and confidence in hydrogen fuel cells as a potential long-term replacement of diesel engines. Providing the environmental benefits along with long-range fast refueling, heavy payloads, and cold weather operation. It's true, diesel doesn't like cold weather, that's for sure. Prototype diesel freight locomotives retrofitted with hydrogen fuel cells, hydrogen storage, and battery packs have undergone various testing at CPKC since 2022. CPKC currently has 3 hydrogen locomotives in operation. Only 3 so far, eh? Well, I'm waiting. I'd like to see more. I'd actually want to see them in operation. If they can get some video of it or anything like that, that would be great. I guess it would be something to look up, see if there's anything out there. Because when you burn hydrogen, all you get out of it is water. Until hydrogen fuel cells, until the first train explodes spectacularly. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens, Godzillionaire. I'm sure they must have sort of some safety protocols and such. Lion Electric sells Quebec facility to Aéroport de Montréal for $50 million. Okay, yeah. That's it for the articles in Plant Magazine. I would like to know more about the Ballard fuel cell and what happened during that time. From the last time I heard of it. But here is something I found interesting here. This is from StreetInsider.com. Service Titan Elite Trades Championship Series to air on CBS Sports Network in December. What do we got here? The Service Titan Elite Trades Championship Series will be broadcast on CBS Sports Network on Fridays in December, highlighting the skills and craftsmanship of the nation's top tradesmen. This year's championship finals featured intense competitions across the electrical, HVAC, automotive, and plumbing trades. With a spotlight on both professionals and students/apprentices, the broadcast series will highlight the importance of critical trades and underscores the importance of nurturing new talent in these imperative fields. Skilled trades will be featured on Friday nights on CBS Sports Network on the following dates. December 13th, it's the HVAC National Championship, and also on the 13th, Plumbing National Championship. One's at 7 Eastern Time, the next is at 8. On the 20th, Ideal Electrician National Championship at 8 Eastern. And then on the 27th, U.S. Autotech National Championship, driven by Yokohama, at 8 o'clock Eastern. So you guys, I say you guys because I don't get CBS Sports Network. So if you guys get it, or if you know where to see it, you could actually watch this stuff. I'm quite interested to know what it's gonna look like. The skilled trades are the backbone of our communities, providing essential expertise and dedication to the work that keeps our world running, said Scott Goldman, Senior Director of Content Marketing at ServiceTitan. We are proud to use this platform to showcase the remarkable talent of these professionals, celebrating their hard work, craftsmanship, and the vital contributions they make every day. In 2024, competitors across all categories vied for a share of a $250,000 prize pool in cash and sponsor-provided awards. These skilled professionals earned their spot in the finals through a series of rigorous qualifying events held over several months. The competition culminated in intense head-to-head matchups with a custom-built arena, designed to both challenge their expertise and celebrate their essential contributions to the trades. Below are the 2024 champions crowned at the West Palm Beach Convention Center, including standout competitor Craig Childress, who achieved remarkable success by winning titles in both HVAC and plumbing for the second consecutive year. I don't think it has fully sunk in yet. This has been an incredible experience, said Childress, after securing multiple titles for the second consecutive year, being the first to win 2 competitions back-to-back. It's a huge accomplishment. It means a lot to me, and I'm passionate about inspiring future generations in the trades. We'll see about that. In addition to the prize pool, sponsors also provided essential products and software throughout the competition, highlighting the tools competitors use in their everyday work. Contributions came from industry leaders such as Little Giant, Challenger Lifts, Hunter Engineering, ServiceTitan, Train American Standard, Malco Tools, Navec, Johnstone Supply, RLS, Ideal, AutoZones, AllData, OEM Software, Milwaukee, Flex, Yokohama, Duralast, Monroe, Seroflow, Seroset, Crocodile Cloth, Studson, Rheem, and Sharkbite. The championships also received support from ASE, Moss Construction, ICC, Express Employment Services, NATE, IEC, UNO, HVAC Tactical, Women in HVAC, Florida, PHCC, and TechForce Foundation. For more information about the ServiceTitan Elite Trades Championship Series and to learn more about our finalists and sponsors, please visit that website, elitetrades.global. So it's nice to see that they're going to put it on television. I don't know what to expect, but maybe you guys can give it a watch. Maybe you can point me in the right direction if they have it on. Somebody's recorded it on YouTube or something. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I say, it doesn't start until the 13th. Good old Friday the 13th. And it's nice to see that it's getting on a television station. You'd figure something like Discovery Channel or TLC would be something like that, because TLC used to stand for the Learning Channel, but I don't think they're doing very much learning anymore. Same with Discovery Channel. I think it's all gone all to hell. They are pathetic in what they show now. It's pretty bad when you're watching like the Learning Channel or the Discovery Channel, and you're like, I'm way smarter than the stuff they're showing on television here. So, found this one as well. Young Americans are losing faith in college and turning to skilled trades. Can't remember. I think we read this one already. But it was from one day ago, so I'm not sure. College has long been seen as a path to prosperity, but a growing number of younger Americans no longer see earning a degree as the ticket to success. In fact, as tuition costs have skyrocketed and an increasing number of graduates are burdened with debt, many don't feel their education was ultimately worth the price. Younger generations are taking note, with some deciding to opt out entirely, pursuing alternative careers such as skilled trades. While this can sometimes be a smart path to take, college can still provide more income on average, so it's important to consider the pros and cons of both options. A pricey degree doesn't always mean a big payoff. Cost of college has increased at a rate that far outpaces inflation, with data showing that prices have surged by 135% from 1963 to 2021 across all types of schools. Few people can cover the costs with savings or wages, which explains why the average student borrows $32,000 to obtain a bachelor's degree at a public university, according to the Education Data Initiative. Debts can be even higher for some, with the average balance among students with federal student loans coming in at $37,000 and the total overall average balance at $40,000, including private loans. Being burdened with so much debt has left many with regrets. Of those with student loans, 68% say their education wasn't worth the damage their debt has done to their well-being. An even greater number, 8 in 10, describe their debt as a huge burden, while more than 4 in 10 workers report that their debt negatively affects their mental health and their future plans. It's not surprising in light of the data that younger generation has concluded that college may not be all that it's cracked up to be. Waning interest has led to 900,000 fewer college students being enrolled in the 4 years since the start of the pandemic. That has prompted many to look to learn skills elsewhere. In fact, 49% of teens between the ages of 13 and 18 said a high school degree, trade program, 2-year degree, or enrichment program is all they need for their careers. While 56% said real-world experience trumps higher education, according to a report by Junior Achievement and Citizens. Should you forego college for a career in the trades? There are some undeniable benefits of choosing a skilled trade instead of a college degree. You can typically get your training much more quickly and for a fraction of the price, enabling you to start your career sooner. Many programs can be completed within a year and cost between $3,600 and $16,000 total, according to the Midwest Tech Institute. This enables you to start working at a younger age and not begin your career burdened with a sizable debt balance. I mean, that's really good if you don't have any debt. It's the worst thing to have. An aging population has also led to a shortage of skilled tradesmen, which has created newer opportunities across a variety of industries, Working Nation reports. And in many trades, the pay is relatively good. The median pay for a plumber, pipe fitter, or steam fitter was $61,000 in 2023. According to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, well above the $48,000 median average wage across all workers. Unfortunately, there are some downsides too. Okay, let's lay it on me. What's the downsides? For one thing, job options may be much more limited, as estimates from the Center on Education and the Workforce at Georgetown University suggest 72% of jobs in the U.S. will require post-secondary education or training by 2031. Trade school is considered post-secondary education. On the whole, those with college degrees also do better financially, though with 87% of those with a Bachelor of Arts reporting they are doing well financially. The Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities also found median lifetime earnings for bachelor degree holders were $1.2 million higher than those without degrees. Of course, not everyone with a degree does better, and some people in trades can become quite wealthy, especially if they start their own businesses. Ultimately, either a bachelor or skilled work can open up the door to success, but a lot depends on what your goals and aspirations are. If you want to do a certain jobs that require a degree, just be sure that you compare the starting salary to the cost of the courses you'll need to take. If you graduate with more debt than you'd make in a year, you may want to consider an alternative career path to avoid being left with regrets. Yes. This one is from London Loves Business. So we're going to Europe, because it looks like it knows no boundaries here, the shortage of the skilled trades. UK skills crisis to worsen as small businesses unable to take on apprentices. You never met a poor plumber? Yeah, I know, David. Those guys clean up really well. Like, they anytime there's anything wrong with water, people are just like, "Hello, plumber." Wait. Is this article actually telling you calculate return on investment on a college degree? Yeah, it did. I don't think that's anything anybody in college ever considers, their return on investment. They must just think, oh, okay, let me get through this and then I'll make the big bucks. At least that's what they've been telling me. The Social Market Foundation, a cross-party think tank, has warned government to fix the issues preventing small businesses from fully embracing apprenticeships, particularly in skilled trades. Okay. All right, so you got a think tank made up of different parties of the government, and it's telling the government to fix the issues. The SMF report, sponsored by Reed in partnership with support from Trustmark, examined the challenges holding small and medium skilled trades firms back from offering more apprenticeships to young people. You can attest poor people that go to college consider return on investment. Good. Yep. You really need that. You really got to pay that much for college. You got to think to yourself, man, this better pay off. Because you don't want to be in debt forever. At present, government data shows that for every apprentice vacancy, nearly 2 young people are interested, potentially leaving many without placements. Speaking of small trades firms, the SMF learned that a lack of engagement is one of the biggest issues preventing them from taking on an apprentice. They often lack necessary relationships. The majority of businesses surveyed said that they have little to no interaction with local colleges, schools, independent providers, or universities. This makes it hard, often impossible, to navigate the complex process of recruiting and training apprentices. This sounds like a big load of BS to me. Put in the newspaper that you're looking for an apprentice. Do that, you useless businesses. Do that. You will get people going, yeah, I want an apprenticeship, sure. So, I don't believe that. It is crucial to improve the apprenticeship employer ecosystem, the SMF said. In particular, small business skilled trades need a go-to intermediary service whose role would be to strengthen local connections. You mean something, are they going to say it's got to be run by the government? Because that sounds pretty sus right there. Bringing SMEs and training providers to work together more effectively. The SMF noted that its proposed system would complement, not complicate, the employment reforms that will revamp job centers to improve access to work for young people, including apprenticeships. Once again, this was done by a multi-party committee. So you've got a bunch of politicians talking like this. So it sounds to me like it's going to be garbage. Whenever the government says they're here to help, they are not going to. There are further challenges when it comes to green skills. Green skilled trade firms have the specific issue of shortage of relevant courses in the emerging sectors. For example, a senior human resource manager bemoaned the failure of colleges and training providers to catch up with the increasing demand for these roles. SMF observed that green skilled tradesmen see the green education pipeline in the UK lagging behind the likes of Denmark and Germany. To this end, the SMF recommends that Skills England, the new body positioned to lead the UK skills landscape, oversees the proposed intermediary system. Skills England could identify priority sectors and from this guide the strategic focus and targeting for intermediary organizations. The body is perfectly placed to do so, having already flagged the green workforce and house building as skills priorities in its first report. Despite the challenges, it is worth noting that enthusiasm for apprenticeships remains high among small businesses, who recognize the vital role young people can play in addressing skilled shortages. With a growing focus on green skills and the challenges posed by an aging skilled workforce, apprenticeships are seen as key, creating a sustainable talent pipeline for the future. Niam O'Regan, researcher at Social Market Foundation, said, by and large, small businesses are keen to do their part to train the next generation. Unfortunately, for many, taking on an apprentice is good in theory and painful in practice. The process can be complex and the administrative burden high, ultimately blocking the pipeline of talent needed to overcome the UK skills crisis. Sounds like it's done on purpose, really. Fostering better connections between SMEs and training providers can pave the way for a more skilled workforce ready to tackle the challenges tomorrow. Jake Shepard, senior researcher at Social Market Foundation, said, to boost the number of apprenticeships and strengthen the workforce is key in key skilled trades. Critical for meeting the UK's infrastructure and climate goals, small businesses must be helped to overcome the barriers they face. The government can act by creating an intermediary system. There you go. There it is. Boom, right there. The government can act by creating an intermediary system that brings together Skills England, career hubs, and training providers to guide businesses and make the apprenticeship process easier to navigate. At the same time, a national campaign can highlight the benefits of hiring young apprentices, while increased financial incentives would help small businesses manage the cost of taking them on. Not a great mindset, but as part of the aging workforce, not my problem. No, it's my problem because I'm the one that's going to have to train the apprentices that come up. Like I say, I'm going to need one. I'm going to need an apprentice, let's say in about 10 years. I'm going to need to have an apprentice that's going to take over for me, so they better get one for me so that I can train them up and they can learn. And by the time my retirement rolls around, I'll just can fade away into the sunset and they can take over seamlessly. That's how it should work. I don't know if it's going to work like that. Management really isn't that far-sighted. They're pretty myopic when it comes to looking at things. Donna Morell, Managing Director, Reed in Partnership, said Reed in Partnership works with many small businesses who tell us that they find it difficult to recruit and support apprentices, especially young people who have just left school and may need some support with their life skills. We must address this to get the skilled tradesmen we need for sustainable economic growth and open up fulfilling careers to young people. We think that implementing the practical proposals in this report will enable local businesses, training providers, and other local stakeholders to do so. Simon Ayres, Chief Executive, Trustmark, said, at Trustmark, we know there is an urgent requirement for skilled, trained, and competent tradesmen across the home improvement sector if we are to make Britain's homes warmer and healthier. Having started as an apprentice in the gas industry, I recognize the vital role apprenticeships can play in addressing skill shortages and how they are key to creating a sustainable pipeline for the future of the industry. We believe that the solutions proposed in this report to help small businesses take on support apprentices are both practical and deliverable, and we hope the skilled trades will now embrace these opportunities to educate and foster growth in the next generation. We look forward to working with the Skills England and the Department of Education in shaping the right support for our small businesses to play their part in the net zero transition. Word salad, word salad. All they got to do is introduce it in the junior high and high schools as a viable option. Stop telling them they have to go to university to be successful, and advertise more. Advertise in the papers, on the internet, wherever you can. Let them know that they are hiring entry-level jobs. You want to be an apprentice in this job, just apply. It's not that hard, but nope, sounds like they're getting another government ministry. They're going to make another one. So, what kind of dressing on that word salad? Probably blue cheese, because that's pretty vile. I know I wouldn't want that. All right, everybody, it's picture time. It's picture time. Oh, yeah. I've got pictures and videos. And, nope, not that one. Here we go. Have some Nami while I get my pictures ready. All right, remember last week, those of you that were here last week, I told you I was going to swap out a pump. Well, blue cheese was made by the devil. Sacre blue cheese, yes. I don't like that blue cheese. All right, so swapping out a pump. Not too difficult, but you run into some challenges. And I say I'm swapping it out. That's why I put that in the title. The swap. You want to swap one pump for another. And they are exactly the same. I made sure of it this time. Not like the fiasco I had with that other pump. But I had to do a little modification. I had to do some drilling and some tapping because this guy didn't show up with a guard. It didn't have a guard, and the old one did have a guard, so all I did was drill and tap holes so I could put the old guard on the new pump. Why am I tapping that hole? It's not threaded. You know why. And this is a starter tap, so it's got a very, there you go. So these are the taps I used. As you can see here, quarter 20, so that's 1/4 inch diameter, 20 threads per inch. That's the coarse one. That's what I was using. And you can see how the taper on this tap goes for quite a bit before it starts to dig in. They didn't come with the polycarb clamshell guards. Nope. No guard at all, Godzillionaire. But you can see the different kinds of taps here. You got this one. It doesn't have, it takes a while for it to start. It's got a very steep taper on it. Then you got the next one. A little less of a taper before the threads start to cut. And then you've got your bottoming tap. And this one is so you can make threads all the way to the bottom of a blind hole. So you'd use these guys first, and then you use this one. That's right, threads per inch, Merca. We use both here, but yes, I was tapping it 1/4 inch. So you got your taper tap, and you've got your bottoming tap. And because that hole was a blind hole, it wasn't a through, like it didn't go all the way through. It was a blind one, so use the bottoming tap at the end. I should explain why there's a big groove cut into the taps. That's for the, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I was taught. So yeah, you're going to have a big groove in here when you cut the threads, and you need chip removal. You need somewhere for the chips to go. Otherwise, you'll get it caught, and you will break your tap. And you can always tell who the apprentices are when they break the tap inside a hole, because they didn't have a feel for it. And you always use a forward and back motion. So you go ahead a 1/4 turn, you back a 1/4 turn, go ahead a 1/4 turn, back a 1/4. You always got to break the chip off. Did I nail it, Godzillionaire? Did I nail it? Yeah, all right. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, so these guys, very easy to use. And I mean, I'm only tapping into cast. This is cast iron. So it's not very hard at all, but you still have to be careful. You don't want to gall, like I say, you don't want to gall up the threads. And as you can see, I drew the circle around first, and then I hit it with a prick punch and then a center punch. You never used one of these. Okay, yeah, pay attention, David. This is a little bit of a tapping, drilling and tapping. That's what the guard looked afterwards. So the old guard on the new pump, the holes lined up nicely because you got to do your layout. So you can see I drew around the hole, and then I used the center punch in the middle there. And then I drilled deep enough for the bolts to go in. Yeah, prick punch is different than a center punch. A prick punch has a much steeper angle. So center punch will be like a 90-degree, and it'll make quite a large indent. Prick punch, very shallower angle to it. More like a 60, maybe, or it's either a 60 or a 30. It's very, very shallow, but it's good for making very fine marks. You use that one first, and then a center punch to follow it up. It is weird, yeah, but that's Vertiflow. I don't know why. I don't know why it didn't come with a guard. So yes, you do that, then you drill, and you make sure if you're gonna tap 1/4 inch, you don't drill it at 1/4 inch. That's not right. I know there's some fancy formulas to use to figure out what you use. I know for a 1/4 inch drill, you need a number 7, or a 1/4 inch tap, you need a number 7. I didn't have a number 7, so I just used a 3/16, and it did all right. They have to have some no drill clamshell style they offer. Maybe when we ordered this, they didn't even mention that as an option. We didn't even think to mention it either. I just naturally assumed like, oh yeah, it'll come with a guard. Find the clamshell guard in the receiving area next week. Ah, you. That's probably it. Oh, by the way, here's the guard. What? So when you're tapping, use lots of cutting fluid. Very important. I use this stuff, Rapid Tap. Very good to always use. I don't care what you use. Just use something. Use any kind of cutting fluid that's going to help you. You don't do it without it. Otherwise, you're in for trouble. And there's the other side. Same thing. I drilled it out, tapped it, put it on there, and it's a pretty good fit. Not too bad. So that was what I had to do. Next, I will show you guys the videos. Okay. So, well, just here, let me, I'll make this big here. There we go. Okay, as you can see, right here, this thing here. But I wanted to stick my hand in there. No. Bad Godzillionaire. You can see on the ground here, I've got a kneeling pad because, use something like that. Save your knees. You'll thank, when you're older, you'll thank yourself for doing something like that. Always use a kneeling pad. Concrete's hard on the knees. And yeah, you can see there's the pump there. No guard. It's got no guard. Let's keep going here. I already took out the bolts for the coupler guard, so I'm going to take that off first. There you go. And just checking it. Yeah, it seems to roll okay. I'm looking for the set screw. There it is. Now I'm just changing the pump. I'm not installing the motor or the base. So I'm going to remove the pump from the base. I use quite a long ratchet wrench there because mechanical advantage makes it easier. Yeah, so weird. Comes with a motor coupling guard, but has exposed shaft near the impeller. Yeah, I don't get it either. That's Vertiflow for you, though. These are 1/2-inch bolts, so they use I use a 3/4-inch socket. There you go. Now I can't get it. I'm gonna have to try something else to get that. That guy didn't work. So pull out the trusty gear wrench. Get in there. Yeah, dude. Like, oh, gotta get the other tool. Go there. All right. Got that out. Now I'm ready to pull it apart. And put it up on the bench. And the way you do that, when you're by yourself, which I am a lot of the time, I don't have a helper or anything like that. I'd have to go get one of the ops guys, but this is how you do it. You get yourself one of these things, and anything that's heavy gets it up to your workbench level. There you go. Trying to do this one-handed. Got the camera in one hand. There we go. So why did I buy a pump, motor, base, assembly if I just needed the pump? I thought I asked them just for the pump. I swear. I'm like, just get me I just need a pump. I need this model, this serial number. Send me that pump. And I don't know what happened, but they're like, pump, motor, everything. It's like, oh, you guys are a bunch of idiots. There we go. Now we can work on it. I really need a GoPro harness or something for filming. Yes, I am looking into getting something like that. It's just I'm going to look weird walking around the plant with that on. Guys are going to wonder. They're going to be like, what are you doing? Now, usually, translation, your distributor sucks. Yes. Usually they don't send gearboxes, motors, pumps, and stuff like that. Anything that has oil, they don't ship it with oil in it already. But they did in this one, and that was quite strange. I'm like, oh, I can't believe they shipped it with oil in it. Okay. So, draining all the oil out. Up here is where I'm going to fill it up from. This is the breather. They shipped it with oil, and I'm pretty sure that yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying it's like, I mean, I had to change it out for the oil we use anyway, but it's like no one ever ships things with oil in it. They shouldn't anyway, but these guys did. I couldn't believe it. Okay, let's see. What was this one? All right. Clean it up a bit after all the oil's been drained out. I'm going to make this better. I decided to do some improvements. Rather than just putting a plug in it and calling it good, I'm going to make it easy for the next time I have to change the oil. Grab myself a little pipe wrench. We'll get that tightened on there. Shouldn't take too much. Getting up to where I'm getting the feel for how tight it is. And there we go. Next up, 45-degree elbow. It's a little bit more robust than I wanted to use, but I'll take it. And hey, how's it going, DJ Ronnie G? What's up, DJ? Getting home from work? I'm just replacing a pump, an old worn out one with a new one. And what I have to do is, this is what I have to do to get the new one ready to go. There we go. And finally, the plug. Just tighten that up there. Doesn't have to be super tight. All right. Oh, there's the funnel. And there's the stuff we're going to put in there. Now that stuff's called HVI 13. And HVI stands for high viscosity index. And what is the viscosity index? So when oil is poured out at a certain temperature, you know, when the temperature gets cold, the oil will pour slower. And when it gets warm, it'll pour quicker. But if it has a high viscosity index, it doesn't matter how warm or cold it is, it'll pour at the same rate. So this stuff, really good in the cold and really good in the hot. If we look it up, HVI 13, I think it has like a really, that's why it's the viscosity index is very, very high on this. And it flows at really cold temperatures. So, and that's what we need because this pump is going outside. Interesting sewing machine. So I'm trying to watch and see in the sight glass whether there's any oil level coming up. And I don't see anything. So, you know, okay, well, we'll add a little more. Add some more. So there's something not right. I should be able to see a level in there. I am not sure what's going on. So I add a little more. Yeah. Right now I'm kind of figuring, I'm like, man, I have added way too much into this thing. Something is not right. Because I don't see a level in the sight glass at all. So I finally saw it. It looks like they got paint all over the sight glass. When they painted this thing, the paint got on the sight glass. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to take the sight glass off, clean it with brake clean, and get the residue off the paint. Yeah, it's not... no, it's not showing up on the sight glass because either too much and the paint is obscuring the view. I got the old trusty flashlight out, and I'm like, well, what is going on here? I start cleaning it, trying to see if I could see anything. And I got nothing. So yeah, it was at that point that I was like, okay, well, take out the sight glass, drain the oil, clean the sight glass, put it back in, put the right amount of oil in, and that's where we left it. So right now it's sitting on the bench. It's got the right amount of oil in, and it's waiting to be installed. What's up, B17? For once you've returned, we appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in. So let's have a look at that. I want to have a look at that. Let's see, mobile HVI 13. So this stuff, Univis HVI 13. So I want to tell you guys about this because I think this stuff is really good. High viscosity index hydraulic fluid. Univis HVI 13 and 26 have been formulated to provide outstanding viscosity control and application where ambient temperature can vary widely from very cold to warm. In addition to the wide operating range, these fluids provide excellent wear protection, potent rust and corrosion protection, rapid foam and air release, and outstanding resistance to oxidation. The performance features help to provide protection required to keep hydraulic systems operating more efficiently over a wide operating temperature range. Let's see. So this is how they measure how much it flows. The kinematic viscosity at minus 40 and at minus 54 and at 100 degrees and at 40 degrees. So, and this viscosity index is 404. So I think the VI, the viscosity index, starts at 100. And anything below that is not good. Anything above that is better. Well, this is at 400. So this is an excellent fluid for lubrication. Okay, this is just the same thing that they had. Yeah, outstanding fluidity for low temperature startups, improved viscosity protection for pump components operating at both low and high temperatures. Yes, and that's exactly what I'm using it for. So I've switched all of our pumps over to HVI 13. Before that, they were using, what were they using? Rando HD 15 or HD 22, and they would cut it with kerosene. So they would put kerosene in the oil for wintertime so that it would be a little thinner. Hopefully switching over to the HVI 13 here, this stuff, we won't have to change it in winter at all. It'll be able to keep very viscous, and we shouldn't have any trouble. Nico, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Just talking about some lubricating oil. Very good stuff. HVI 13 has an excellent range. It stays the same viscosity over a wide range of temperature, which is important. Everybody does it for their car, or not everybody, but a lot of people will do it for their cars. They'll switch over to 0W whatever for their car, 020, 030. And the 0, it's a synthetic, and it's zero viscosity, so it will flow at very low temperatures. Minus 20, minus 30. Your engine oil is going to flow a lot easier and quicker through your system. And that's what I'm hoping to accomplish with this Univis HVI 13. It's almost like, at room temperature, it's almost flows like water. So if it can tape like that in low temperatures, excellent. That's great. I want to do that. We don't have to worry too much about really high temperatures. We worry mostly about low temperatures. When things don't want to move, things don't want to start, everything slows down when it gets really, really cold. So yeah, that's the stuff. Univis HVI 13. Very good. Very good stuff. Yeah, you missed it, Nico. We were checking out this pump I'm swapping out. So I haven't finished swapping it out yet. The pump is still waiting. I'm going to finish it tomorrow, where I'm going to put it in its place and level it out. I'll use some shims to do some alignment. We'll align it to the motor, and it will be, it'll be a nice running pump. Won't have to worry about the internals for a while. It's replacing the pump that was worn out inside. So the whole casing was starting to get worn. So I had to order a new one. And it showed up like last week or so. I think I had pictures for you guys about it last week. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm just checking here, just having a look. Yeah, there it is. Hold on. There. Nope. Keep clicking on that one. There it is there. Okay. It's banded down. This one I still have to rebuild, this canned pump. I'm going to, I'll either do it next week or the week after. I've got to, it's really rusty, so I'm going to spray it down with some penetrating oil. Spray it down, hopefully loosen some stuff up. And see if I can't make it all brand new with new internals. So yeah, there it is there. The Vertiflow pump. Oh, and you'll be happy to know we got a new gas cap after this one got broken. You can see here, we didn't even have this thing one day when somebody dropped it and it hit the ground and it broke the gas cap. So I had to go get another gas cap. And that was that. All right. Oh, one other thing. When you guys are, oh, sorry, this thing's a charger for gas monitors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how old it is, but it's not charging them anymore, and I think I can see why. The contacts, one's been pushed in there, one's been completely broken off there. I don't think they're making contact very well. So I was asked to get another one. And there's what it is. Gas Alert Microclip XT multi-unit cradle charger. There's a close-up. That's where the contact is either ripped out. This one looks like it's pushed in. Same with that one, not making good contact with the gas monitor. This one is making good contact, it looks like. So I think there was only 2 of them that would charge. So I've ordered one. It's on the way. About $400 for this thing. And it should arrive, and it should make a lot of people happy because they can just have a whole bunch of gas monitors charging all at once. So yeah. Usually somebody in a mechanical trade like mine wouldn't even touch this stuff. This is more like electrical or instrumentation. But because we don't have an electrical guy or an instrumentation guy there full time, it falls to me to be the guy to take care of this stuff. So it keeps me a bit busy. But yeah, $400, Nico. Just wait until you that backpack blower, that blower I had to buy the fuel cap for. That thing was $880. So I was told to buy it so that the guys wouldn't jam their hands when they're shoveling snow. So yeah, $880 for that snowblower. Gas powered, mind you. Seems to work okay. I used it today a little bit. Blew the snow off my car before I left work. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, fellas. That was a good stream. I really enjoyed that one. I just want to thank everybody that came out today. You know who you are, whether you were lurking and listening. David Glenn, Godzillionaire, Comic Relief Crusader, who stopped by for a bit. It was nice of him. And DJ Ronnie G, P17, Nico. Always good to see you guys. I like it when you guys hop in and spend some time here. Please just do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, tell your friends, spread the word. There's other good channels out there too. Infinite Metal! What's up, Infinite? Hey guys, this is the guy I was telling you about. He's the guy that streams on Twitch and Kick. And he's got his pet dragon, Skelly. He plays lots of retro games. Just hanging out. How am I doing? I'm all right. You're catching me at the end of the stream, Infinite. I've been going for a while now already, so I'm just kind of wrapping things up, letting them know which channels to come and visit. It went okay. I thought it was all right. I think the guys enjoyed seeing me take the pump off and put it together. Oh yeah, no sweat, man. It's all good. But yeah, you guys should visit Infinite Metal, of course. Visit him and visit Pacific 414. Mike's got a good channel. Our own DJ Ronnie G, Brandon the anime guy. There's Kyle at the RNG podcast. Tomby, the bloke from across the sea there. Angry Canadian, Nerd Pro Lifeform. Everyone's favorite penguin, Punkwaddle. Don't forget to visit Punkwaddle. He's got some good penguin positivity going on all this month. I've been watching his videos and I'm liking what I'm hearing. Good old Punkwaddle being positive out there. Coming up, guys, Saturday, Retro Game Day. I'm playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! Nightmare Troubadour for the DS. I'm getting to the tournament now, so I'm a little bit hesitant as to what's going to happen. I'm a little anxious. Like, am I going to game over if I lose the tournament? This is something I'm worried about, but I'm hoping my deck's strong enough to get me through the first tournament. So stop by on Saturday morning for that one. Sunday morning, Sunday Anime Chat. The theme of the month is the year in review, and last week it was shows that started in January. Next, shows that started in April. So the spring edition of the year in review. So if any anime started in the spring and I watched it, I'm going to point a few of them out. We'll go over some of them, and hopefully I'll hear some of you guys' picks that you watched during the spring season. And then we're back to Tuesday again. Trades Talk. I roll around here, coming in with some more stories and pictures and videos of stuff I'm taking part in, machinery I'm working on. Also, we look at some articles and see what's going on out there, who's doing a good job of preparing for the shortage of tradespeople out there. But yeah, that is it for me, everyone. I had fun today. I hope you did too. And I hope to see you guys on Saturday when I take on people in a children's card game. Not on motorcycles, though. No card games on motorcycles. Just straight up OG Yu-Gi-Oh! All right, thanks for coming out, everyone. Until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.